These miniatures were printed on 3 completely different resin printers. But here's the surprising part. Most people would struggle to tell which printer produced which model, because in 2026 almost every modern resin printer can be produced in incredible detail. So the real question isn't which printer is best, it's which printer is best for you. If you're trying to buy a resin printer right now, your choice is honestly overwhelming. The spec sheets all claim insane resolution, massive build volumes, flawless prints, and any number of other marketing hype bits. But after a year of testing printers in my studio, I've discovered something interesting. And while they're all good, the printer you end up buying will depend on how you use it. And honestly, the reasons aren't always obvious from the spec sheet. So I narrowed the field down to the 3 most interesting 10-inch printers right now. The Heygears Reflex RS, the Uniformation GK3, and the Anycubic P1. I also deliberately excluded a few obvious options that I've also reviewed on the channel, for example the Saturn IV Ultra 16K, and that's simply because while I like the tilting VAT, I really dislike the build plate design and I actually end up selling mine. There are also some innovative machines that I did like, such as the Halo X1, but it's a little weird and I wanted this review to be focused on printers that people are going to realistically actually buy. Last year I've printed hundreds of miniatures across these printers, and spoiler alert, one of them consistently failed in a way that isn't immediately obvious. We'll come back to that in a minute, because first we need to talk about the major thing everybody should be worried about if they're printing models: print quality. And here's the truth. At this level of hardware, all the printers I'm talking about today produce fantastic miniatures. We're talking extremely small pixel sizes, very high resolution LCDs, mature siphoning software, built-in heaters. If you dial in your resin and exposure settings properly, or in the case of the Heygears machine you don't have to do that, but you get the idea, every printer here is capable of producing beautiful models. So if your main question is, which one of these printers produces the best models, the honest answer is, all of them. But that actually creates a new problem, because once the print quality reaches this level, the printer you choose comes down to how you're going to use it, i.e. your workflow. You may find that a printer just has a really annoying feature, like a flat plate, that you just can't get over and makes extra mess and extra work, and you know what, frankly, spending the extra 50 quid is worth it just to avoid that whole problem. In fact, question for you in the comments, how are you actually using your printer? Are you a hobbyist? A professional? Maybe you're in a studio, maybe you're in a print farm. Let me know in the comments, I'm genuinely interested. Thanks a lot. Okay, let's explore some printers. First up, the Uniformation GK3. I love this printer. It has by far and away the most ergonomic and well-designed hardware from a user's point of view. This printer feels like it was designed with a completely different philosophy, by people who actually use printers on a day-to-day basis. There is only one printer available right now that's nicer to use in my opinion, and that is the $3,500 Form 4. If the Heygears printer feels like a premium appliance, the GK3 feels more like a tool. Uniformation printers have developed a reputation for being extremely reliable. They're solidly built. The parts are all replaceable and easy to change, and they're designed for people who print a lot, with features such as screens that move so you can view them at any angle, power buttons on the front, a resin drip system. No, not that one. That allows the resin to drain off, and yet you can still close the lid. Sounds obvious, but as you'll see later, it isn't. But it's frankly essential if you work in a sunny environment. And of course that plate itself, the top, because of the design, never gets covered in resin. There's a drip catch around the edge to stop mess, and the plate texture makes it easy to remove prints. Which is why I think they're popular with small businesses. And if you want something that runs day after day after day, basic but functional, then this could well be the printer for you. But before you make a decision, remember that issue I mentioned right at the top of the video? Yeah, it's about the GK3. And it's nothing to do with the hardware, which is genuinely excellent. It's about the software and its implementation. So for all our talk about hardware and its importance, in the last few years in the resin printing space, it's been about software. That's what's really set the brands apart, and while the GK3 uses the excellent Chitubox, that does leave it exposed to Chitubox changes that are not within its control. Some recent ones include locking major features behind paywalls, cramming ads for models that you don't necessarily want into the software, and then having lots of extra bloat inside the software too, instead of just keeping the experience slimmed down. The camera features are nice though, but the worst part of the GK3 Ultra is the UI on the printer itself. Despite launching over a year ago, the promised RERF functions still don't work, at least not in a usable, normal sort of way. Automatic over-the-air software updates still don't work, and some elements of the UI are still a bit buggy and odd. It's a huge shame, particularly as other brands like Anycubic are really outclassing them in this front, but again, we're going to come to that. In fact, let's come to it now. The Anycubic P1. So I'm going to bring money into the equation with the Anycubic P1, and that's possibly slightly unfair because the Anycubic P1 is not a cheap printer. Anycubic is a company that's, in Resin at least, has been consistently focused on one thing: value, both in terms of lower prices and also in terms of building in features that consumers actually want. And the P1 is probably their best printer ever. As with all the featured printers, I have a full in-depth review on the channel already, but with the P1, you're getting more premium build components than any other Anycubic printer to date, higher resolution screens, fully replaceable parts, and some weird but innovative features, but at the lowest price in this video. While the GK3 starts at $639 and the Heygears $599, the Anycubic P1 is just $549. For that money, you have the highest resolution screen, an industry-leading UI, built-in calibration tools, a power button on the front of the printer, and cool wave release tech. Add to that fact that the prints are genuinely excellent and you have a really solid printer on your hands. They make high-quality resin printer really accessible. If it wasn't for a few key things that let the experience down, like the fact that with the plate draining you can't close the lid, and the really low-resolution camera, this would be, dare I say it, an almost perfect printer. The software experience is more manual and less refined than a Heygears printer, but the Anycubic Photon Slicer is still very solid. It kind of looks similar to Orca Slicer and works very well indeed. Nor is the P1 as simple to clean up as the Uniformation. That flat plate is a pain in the backside and causes splashes and drips wherever you move it. But if your goal is great results for the lowest price, Anycubic P1 is the printer to beat. Now, the third machine in my review is, unsurprisingly, the Heygears Reflex RS, and I don't think it's a surprise to hear me talking passionately about that printer. This is a printer I've covered extensively in the past, and it just feels very different from other hobby resin printers. Everything is about focusing on making the experience predictable and streamlined. The software is polished, the setup is extremely simple, and the entire workflow feels more like a consumer appliance than a tinkering hobby machine. If you're somebody who wants to just load a file, press print and get consistent results, this printer is honestly very, very impressive. But of course, there's a trade-off. While Heygears are in the process of opening up their ecosystem, it's still a bespoke piece of software and it will not be to everyone's taste. Dedicated slicers like Chitu and Lychee offer more familiar and in some cases faster experiences, but the Blueprint Studio is optimised for Heygears machines and does come with preloaded print profiles for Heygears branded resins. That leads to an incredibly smooth and almost Apple-like experience, but one for at least the next few months offers less control to the end user. For some people, that's a downside. For others, it's exactly what they want. On the hardware side, there are some negatives too. Like the Anycubic, it shares a flat plate that's hard to clean. There is uniquely no internal camera. The power supply is external. The power button and its digital equivalent on the UI are difficult to access. And talking about the UI, it's also a bit weird, with basic functions like plate movement way down the list, below things like networks, which are use once settings, is really annoying. Despite all that though, the Heygears Reflex has been my go-to printer recommendation for well over a year now. But, and I'll be quite frank here, with the P1 being released, it's become a really, really close call. In fact, remember that test I mentioned earlier? Printing the same miniature across all three printers? When I ran that comparison, the results were interesting. And don't forget, when you actually compare the print results, there's very little difference between them. If I was going to be pushed though, I would say Heygears still has the edge over other brands in terms of reliability, clarity of prints, but like I say, it is very, very close. And if you're going to be painting these or doing, frankly, anything else with them, then you're just never going to be able to tell the difference. But let's simplify things a little bit, because each of these machines is good in its own way. If you're looking for the shallowest learning curve and probably the simplest route from STL to printed model, you want the Heygears Reflex RS. If you're looking for the printer that is the best value, the most features for the least money, you want the Anycubic P1. And if you want a more basic printer but that is an absolute workhorse and easily the least messy to use, you're going to want the Uniformation GK3. You're going to be able to produce great models on any of these three printers, and I've put links to all of them down in the description below. If you purchase via those links, you help support the channel by using affiliate links, and I'm very, very grateful for you doing that. And it's now even easier to purchase Anycubic and Heygears machines because you can purchase them directly from Amazon, which is nice. I actually make a little bit less money that way, but I don't mind, whatever's easiest for you. And don't forget, if you want more information on these printers, I have full reviews on every single one of these machines on screen right now. So if you want more information, go and click on those. As ever, a huge thank you to anyone who's watched the video for as long as this, commented underneath to share your thoughts and opinions. It really is appreciated. And or liked and subscribed to the channel. You're a legend. And even more of a legend, if you engage in the chat over my Discord, support me on Patreon, you know who you are. I can't thank you enough. So I'll leave by saying that this has been RisingApe Minis. I've been James, and I will see you next time.